Welcome back to Teshkid FX for another price prediction update, and in this video I'll be giving you a price prediction update on Vechain, whose current price stands at the $0.02381 mark, and here on TradingView the market is up by 1.36%. And in this video I want to give you the key scenarios that I expect to play out basing my analysis on the Elliot wave structures, the areas of support and resistances, the Fibonacci's, and also draw out any key chart patterns that you have information on this chart. And I'll kickstart the video by giving a brief of what has been happening on this chart. Vechain from the all-time high has been seeing no prices in this massive ABC corrective movement, which has now taken us back to around the $0.02 mark. And here on the daily chart you can see after making our low down there, we saw a very nice bounce to the upper side, managing to break above key areas of resistances, but at the key area of resistance at around the $0.03362 mark we got rejected, and we are seeing a massive pullback to the lower side. Jumping to the 4-hour chart for further analysis. Here on the 4-hour chart you can see after making our low down there, we saw a very nice bounce to the upper side in a movement that I was terming as an Elliot wave structure, having that as the first wave to the upper side, then a wave 2, a wave 3, then I expected a retracement to the lower side in the formation of a wave 4 before we continue pushing high in the formation of a wave 5 to complete a higher Elliot wave count 1. But that movement to the upper side in that Elliot wave structure got invalidated the moment our wave 4 over here retraced into the high of that first wave, and having done so I had to remove the Elliot wave structures from my charts and view this movement to the upper side as something else, and the only way we can view that as is just an ABC corrective movement. And after seeing the high for that ABC corrective movement, whatever I expected on this other side is the formation of a 5-wave structure, and I believe we are seeing such a structure right here, having this as the first wave, second wave, third wave, fourth wave, and then a 5th wave. And having seen the formation of this 5-wave structure to the lower side, we can now name it as a higher Elliot wave count 1, and whatever we expect next after the formation of a higher Elliot wave count 1 is the formation of a higher Elliot wave count 2, which here on the Vechain chart will be giving us a bit of a pump to the upper side. And because the wave 2 is a retracement of the first wave, we can use the Fibonacci's, connecting them from the high of that wave 1 to the low of that wave 1, and that gives me a minimum target area to the upper side in the formation of a wave 2 between the fib level 0.618 and the fib level 0.382 as a minimum. And I can mark that target area here on the charts like that, and you can see that my target area lies between the $0.029 mark and the $0.026 mark. So that is the minimum that I would expect that bounce to the upper side in the formation of a wave 2 to do. And for that to happen, I would also expect to see a breakout above that key area of resistance at around the $0.024 mark, even see a successful retest of that key area of resistance before we continue pushing higher. And since a wave 2 is a corrective wave, I will also expect to see an ABC corrective movement play out over here, having that as a wave A, then a wave B, and then a wave C to get us fully into that target area over here. And once we maximize that target area, then I can expect a very impulsive movement to the lower side in the formation of a wave 3, and that would mean maybe the low for Vechain is not yet in. So basing it on the Elliot wave structures that I have right here, there is a possibility that we might be able to make a new low here on the Vechain chart before we continue pushing higher. Though there is a possibility that in case Vechain continues to push higher in the formation of that wave 2, manage to break above the key area of resistance at around the $0.029 mark and continue pushing higher, there is a possibility of Vechain invalidating that movement to the lower side in these Elliot wave structures that I have right here. And for that to also happen, I will expect Vechain to also manage to break above a key area on the Fibonacci, that is the fib level 0.78 fib level, which lies at around the $0.03122 mark. In case we manage to break above that fib level, there is a possibility of us continuing to push even higher, and once that plays out, I'll have to sketch out even more bullish movements here on the Vechain chart. And to support that movement to the upper side in the formation of that wave 2, we have a key chart pattern that is in formation right here, which is a double bottom. And if I draw it out, we can have this impulsive movement taking us lower, making that first bottom. Then we saw a very nice bounce to the upper side, then another movement to the lower side, making the second bottom. Then we are seeing a bit of a bounce to the upper side over here in this movement right here. We are yet to see that breakout to the upper side out of this chart pattern that I have drawn out over here. And this is a chart pattern that normally breaks to the upper side, having the target area of that breakout as the height between the neckline and the bottoms. So using a trend trend line, we can get that height between the neckline and the bottoms down there. Then place that height over here to give us a minimum target area to the upper side, back to around the $0.025 mark. So once we see a breakout out of this chart pattern, there's a possibility of Vechain trading back to around the $0.025 mark. And there's also a possibility that in case Vechain is unable to break to the upper side of this chart pattern that I have drawn out over here, there's a possibility of us continuing to see lower prices, get back to this key area of support down here. And in case that happens and we touch that bottom and then see a bit of a bounce once we find support, there's a possibility that there will be completing the formation of a triple bottom in this movement right here. And in case that plays out, my target area out of this chart pattern that I have drawn out over here still remains back to around the $0.025 mark. So let's be patient and see how that plays out, and I'll keep you updated on that. Also, viewing this chart from a wider view, we also have other chart patterns that are information right here, and the other key chart pattern that I have information right here is a head and shoulders pattern. And if I draw it out, we can have this as the left shoulder of that head and shoulders pattern. Then we have seen the head, then the neckline, then the right shoulder has been information right here. And after the formation of the right shoulder, we are yet to see a breakout out of this head and shoulders pattern. And this is a chart pattern that normally breaks to the lower side, having the target area of that breakout as the height between the height of the head and the neckline. So using a trend line, once more we can get the height between the head and the neckline, then place it down here to give us a minimum target area back to around the $0.01141 mark. So in case we see a breakout out of this consolidation that we have been trading within right here and lose that key area of support at around the $0.02 mark, maybe even see a retest of that key area of support, there is a possibility of Vechain trading back to around the $0.01 mark, and that would be giving us a breakout out of this head and shoulders pattern. So let's be patient and see how that plays out. Also taking a look at the indicators to see what movements will be supported here on the 4-hour RSI. On the 4-hour RSI, we are trading at around the 63 mark, meaning we have massive room for us to support any movement to the upper side in the formation of that second wave. Also, any movement to the lower side will still be supported. Also, taking a look at the MACD, here on the MACD, we have printed a bullish cross, and that means higher prices are coming our way. So there is a possibility of us continuing to push higher in the formation of that second wave before we see an impulsive movement to the lower side in the formation of a wave 2. So let's be patient and see how that plays out, and I'll keep you updated.